welcome back to my channel and another Plan With Me video. Today we're planning for March and I am really excited for it to be March because one, I am finally going on vacation. I feel like I haven't been on vacation since last year, which is true. I haven't been on vacation since last year. But two, I'm just excited for the spring weather, not necessarily the spring allergies because my spring allergies are just like going crazy. If you are new here, my name is Jessica. I am a content creator with a full-time 9-to-5 job, and I write and make videos about life in my 30s, beauty, Disney, wellness, self-care, Plan With Me's, anything and everything really, because I enjoy documenting my life. This Plan With Me series is something that I've wanted to do on my blog for many years, but I felt like I just had nothing special to really talk about. But after watching a couple of Plan With Me videos here on YouTube, I was highly inspired to just do the damn thing, which if you watch my vlogs, you know that is the whole reason for this YouTube channel, is to finally get out of my head because I am a chronic perfectionist, and doing the damn thing, whether it's perfect or not, is like the whole reason for this YouTube channel. So here we are doing it whether it's perfect or not, and we're just gonna accept it, right? Yes. So before I jump into my February recap and then the March Plan With Me section, I want to quickly go over my planning strategy for this year. This year I am doing a blended planning strategy, which is basically doing paper planning and digital planning at the same time. I am using a paper planner to organize all of my personal to-dos. This year I am using the Doodle planner by Amanda Rachel Lee, and then I am taking all of my long-term goals, my 2024 goals, and sticking them in a digital platform. This year I am using Notion, and then I also use Google Calendar to organize all of me and my husband's schedules and work schedules and all of those daily scheduling to do things. That's basically my strategy for this year. It's been working well for me so far. Let's go into my February recap. Let me quickly show you my habit tracker and mood tracker for February. I really enjoyed filling this out this month. My habits for last month were really inspired by my need to prioritize self-care. I had habits like morning stretching, meditate, workout, log off work, eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home, nighttime stretch, and reading one chapter a day. And I feel like I did really well at trying my best to complete those habits or make those into habits. The thing that I was very surprised about with myself is how much I loved meditating. And I feel like that is strange because as someone who feels anxious pretty much every day, it is hard for me to really quiet my brain to meditate. I've meditated here and there throughout the years, but this is the longest that I've gone in like actually doing it consistently throughout the month. And I'm really proud of myself for doing that. If you watch my vlogs, you know that I am a longtime Calm app user. I am actually a paid subscriber, but I am looking for a free meditation app because the paid subscription to Calm is just no longer in the books for me financially this year. So in my search for a free meditation app, I basically discovered that there is none that I like, but I did try a couple that I want to mention here. I tried Balance, which offers a free 1-year subscription to their meditation app. I also tried Insights Timer, and then in the past I've tried Headspace, but that felt kind of too much like a game to me and it wasn't intriguing enough for me to keep. So it looks like I'm gonna stick with the Calm app for now, but just the free version until I feel like a little more financially stable in adding more subscriptions to my plate. But yeah, last month was really good for me habit tracker wise. I feel like I did exactly what I wanted to do in prioritizing every time. Anyway, like I was saying, last month was a really good month for me in terms of like prioritizing self-care. I feel like I really stuck to what I set out to do, which is putting myself first, honoring my boundaries, really taking the time to take care of myself. And in return, I feel very refreshed and ready to take on March. Even though there were a couple of stressful moments in there, I feel like I handled them with grace. So I'm excited for this month and really taking what I learned in February and applying it to this month. Now, as far as my mood tracker goes, I really enjoy looking at this because I am someone who relies heavily on their cycle to really plan out their week and go about their day. And so, you know, this particular mood tracker really shows me, first of all, when I was feeling moody due to my hormones. And then also what it really tells me is that I pretty much felt happy or like in a neutral state most of the month. And I think that was really because of my need to prioritize self-care last month, especially after January being the way that it was. So I'm very pleased with the way that this turned out, and that I am really starting to regulate those big feelings and manage them a little better. So that was the paper planning side of my February recap. Now let's jump into the digital side of my February recap. So this is my Notion Life Hub, and I'm going to quickly scroll down here because I have my goals listed out quarterly. So my Q1 focus for this year is health and fitness. This is my monthly goals and reflections page. It is a template that I took from Jenna, and I'll link to her template down below for you guys to check out. But basically it is like a glorified checklist, if you will. And I have my Q1 focus goals here, and I also added a little personal budgeting and finances checklist here, but we'll get into that later. So let's quickly run through my health and fitness goals and see what I did last month. For Cook More, Eat Out Less, I did weekly meal plan like no tomorrow. I really wanted to stick to this goal, you guys, because in January I did not do well. I was eating out so much. With February being a month to prioritize my self-care, I really wanted to give myself the opportunity to use weekly meal planning and cooking at home as something that I do to give back to myself. And I am so lucky that my husband likes to cook. He did most of the cooking last month, actually. So thank you to him for cooking for the both of us. Even though he cooked most of the month last month, we actually did the weekly meal planning together, and it has become something that I really enjoy doing with him, and it doesn't really feel like a chore anymore, and I feel much more prepared for the week, planning out my meals and not like, you know, getting to Thursday and like, what am I gonna cook today? We have everything that we need that we're gonna cook. So that makes cooking a little bit more easier and eating at home a little bit more easier, and I definitely feel less tempted to do the Uber Eats, the DoorDash, or just going out into fast food stuff, because you guys know that I love a good fast food. I love McDonald's chicken nuggets. Moving on to the next goal, which is cook one meal per month from recipe books at home. I definitely did not do this last month. I did peruse a couple of my cookbooks for my weekly meal planning, but nothing was really standing out to me, and I don't know, I just wasn't really feeling it. I did make my Gaines chili recipe, which is from the Magnolia cookbook, but I don't know, I didn't feel like it was new enough for me to consider as, you know, one meal per month from recipe book at home, because it is something that I've literally ingrained in my brain. So that's why I didn't check it off. But I mean, could I be a little more graceful to myself about that? Sure. So maybe I am gonna check it off. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just gonna check it off. Moving on to the next goal, prioritize morning and nighttime routines for mental health. I did every single sub goal in this category. Like, I'm so proud of myself, you guys. You guys know from my January recap that I did not do well in this area, so I am very pleased with myself that I checked everything off, and I really took the time to make this a thing in February. I did no electronics, social media, or shopping before 7 a.m. I meditated in the mornings before workouts, practiced better work-life balance. Like, majority of the time, there were only like 3 or 4 days where I just really felt like I needed to work overtime, but for the majority of the month, I logged on time and I logged off on time, which is really good for me, and I felt great about it actually. No electronics after 8 p.m. I did really good in this area too. And then washed and put away dishes before bed. You guys, I am so surprised with myself at how much I actually like doing that chore before bed. Like, it has become somewhat of a necessity for me, and it really makes my mornings flow a lot better. I don't know, it just does something to my mental health. Like, it does something to my brain in the morning seeing a clean kitchen. And come 8 p.m. I am at that sink washing the dishes like it is my life, and I am just so proud of myself for changing my mindset around something and truly believing that you can change tiny habits like this. It works, you guys. Moving on to the next goal, which is to prioritize movement to improve my mental and physical health. Stretch in the morning after waking up. This is a necessity for me, especially entering my 30s. I really started to feel like my flexibility and just my body not necessarily felt old, but like it definitely did not feel like I was in my 20s anymore. So I really enjoy stretching as part of my morning routine, and actually it helps me feel a little bit more regular, if you know what I mean. So yeah, definitely enjoy doing that. I also wanted to do stretch at night before bed, but I did not do that at all. It was just something that I could not for the life of me get on board with and remember to do, and that is okay. So I'm just gonna like keep that unchecked. It is okay. My chronic perfectionist is screaming on the inside, but she will just have to deal with that, okay? We didn't stretch at night before bed, guys. The final goal on my health and fitness goals list is to start journaling again, which I find very funny that it's still named that, because I actually started journaling again back in January. If you watched my other Plan With Me videos, you folks know that I have a standing appointment with myself every Friday after work to journal, and it has just been like one of the more lovely things that come out of my week that I really look forward to. Basically, it's just like 15 minutes to myself where I get to journal and recap about the week, and I try to end every entry with like 2 to 3 things that I am happy about, that made me happy throughout the week. And I have never done that in the past. I think I mentioned in another Plan With Me video that I am a angry journaler. So doing this type of journaling has been very good for me and my mood and my mindset, and it has really changed the way that I approach journaling and just approach life in general. I feel like it is getting easier to notice the good things in my life versus focusing on the not so good things, even though sometimes when the not so good things happen I'm like rah! But yeah, I really enjoy journaling as a form of self-care, and it has just become something that I really look forward to at the end of every week. Now let's move on to this very random why are all the cars loud today? Why? Now let's move on to this very random but intentional personal goal that I set for myself. It is a budgeting and finance goal, and it is to no buy February. Only buy necessities, no fast food, Starbucks, wish list, or random items, and track spending in expense and budget trackers. You guys, I knocked this out of the park last month. I was very intent on saving money last month and only spending it on necessities and nothing frivolous. I even started a little note to myself with a bunch of wish list items, things that like randomly popped up every single day that I was like, ooh, I think I need this, and I put it down on the list, and I actually forgot about the majority of those things on those lists. So I started another one for March because I really want to keep this up, and it really made me realize how much money I was spending on like random ass things. Like, what? Social media has really become that much of an influential place for me that in doing this like wish list thing, I noticed myself pulling away from social media more, and that is actually a plus for me. You guys know I work in social media corporately, so anytime that I can be off of social media because I'm on it all day for work, count me in, guys. I am here for it. I think I did really well with this personal goal, and I loved it so much that I'm actually gonna do it again in March. Actually, I'm gonna do all of this again in March because health and fitness is still my focus goal for Q1, and Q1 ends at the end of March. So yeah, I'm just gonna take all of this and duplicate it for March, and that's what we're gonna do for this month. I'm so excited because I feel like I'm on such a good track with all of my goals right now. And I know it's only March, so yeah. Okay, so that was my very long-winded February recap. Now let's jump into planning for March, which is gonna be hopefully very quick now that I've decided that I'm going to keep all of the same goals and sub-goals for March. So let's do this. Let's quickly fill out this March 2024 monthly goals and reflections page. March 2024. I'm just going to uncheck all of this since we're keeping it the same. And then I'm going to remove, set up my budget tracker. Oh, actually, I'm actually going to keep this because I need to set up my budget tracker for March. And then edit no by February to be no by March. I am going on vacation with my family soon, so I'm going to do no by March except for when I'm on vacation. Except for when I'm on vacation, which hopefully by the time I go on vacation, I'll have just like an idea of things that I want to buy while I'm on vacation and not come out with too many things. We are going to Universal Studios, which I've never been before, and so I'm not quite sure what to expect, and I don't really follow Universal Studios kinds of things. Not like how I follow Disney, so I don't really have like a long list of things that I want to buy from Universal Studios, except for the little Toad headband or Mario headband from Super Nintendo World. I definitely have my eye on that. I think that is so cute, and I am a Disney ear collector, so I am excited to have something from Super Nintendo World. And you guys know that I have a Nintendo Switch, which I play Animal Crossing on almost every day, so I am excited for Super Nintendo World. So yeah, I'm gonna keep no by March, but put a little note to myself except for when I'm on vacation, because I want to be able to enjoy my vacation, and that means spending money. So we're gonna try to not go crazy, okay? So yeah, that is my monthly goals for March. I'm actually gonna change this little reflection section here. So yeah, I'm really excited to continue my February goals into March. I feel really good about them, and I'm not setting them up this way because I know I am going to check them off. I actually don't know if I'm gonna check them off or not. March could be a totally different ball game, you guys. So I'm just excited to continue these goals and these habits and building upon them, and really hoping that I can solidify a lot of these things into my daily routine. I think really changing my mindset and focusing on the journey and not the destination is really coming to fruition for me, and I am excited about that because January was a hectic month, and I do not want to be in that type of headspace again. And I know I can't fully avoid it, but I can at least try to control the things that I can control and let go of the things that I cannot. And that is a big life lesson for me, just all the time. Even though I know that and that sits in the back of my head all day, every day, it is very hard to put that into like to actually do it in your life, especially when you are stressed and feel pressured. I know as a chronic perfectionist, I know how difficult it is to let go of the things that you cannot control. So yes, I know that even though I'm keeping my goals list the same for March from February, I know that it may or may not work out, and that is okay with me. At least we can say that we tried, right? Right. This is what the planner spread for March looks like. It is succulent themed, super cute, so I have a lot of green going on here. The little quote for this month is to focus on what you can control, and I feel like that is the perfect reminder for myself, especially since I'll be going on vacation, and usually when I go on vacation, it really like kind of screws up with my daily routines, and I typically end up coming back feeling super stressed, super anxious. So I feel like I will be leaning on that quote a lot this month, especially post-vacation, to remember to focus on the things that you can control, and if that means letting go of the things that you can't, then by all means go ahead and do that. This is what the monthly spread looks like. This is what the habit tracker and the mood tracker looks like. And then this is what the weekly spread looks like. Such a cute theme, you guys. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I haven't quite finished coloring everything, but this is pretty much the colors that I'm going for this month, and I'm really excited to keep filling out my doodle planner. That is it for my Plan With Me for March video. If you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and leave me is it a 4-leaf clover or 3-leaf clover emoji? I don't even know. Leave me the 4 or 3-leaf clover emoji. It has to be 4-leaf clover, because why would they do a 3-leaf clover? Leave me the 4-leaf clover emoji down below, and also the suitcase emoji, since I am going on vacation. I'm just so excited for vacation, you guys. This is my first vacation of the year, and I am really looking forward to it. I am going to end this video now, so thank you all so much for watching, and until next time, I will see you in the next video. Bye!